New gas range, built-in air fryer. Let's op test this baby. Let's do some pork. So I've been on this air fryer kick lately, and today's no exception. I'm going to try yet something else in air fryer. In fact, we're going to be doing breaded pork chops, kind of like shake and bake, but my take on it, more like an Italian breaded pork chop. And the difference is this week that I'm not going to be testing my wife's air fryer, because when we bought our gas range, we bought one with an air fryer built in. So you can put more food in there. One or two portions is good for the little air fryer, but if I want to do 5, 6, up to 10, I need something bigger. So we're going to try for the very first time our air fryer. I haven't even tested it yet, never even used it, and we're going to try it today. So what are we doing? Like I said, pork chops. And I chose these today only because I was at the store and I saw these pork chops that had this awesome marbling in it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some beautiful marbling in it. I've only come across these a couple of times, and every time that I've bought them, they are so super moist and tender. So I'm going to use these. I figured I saw them, I'm going to buy them, and this is what we're going to film today. So I have 4 pork chops here. They're almost an inch thick. I have my own breadcrumbs, and that's about 1.5 cups of my own very own breadcrumbs. And I've actually added some Italian seasoning to these as well. So it's kind of be like an Italian take on it. What else is going into our mix? I have 2 tablespoons of paprika. I have a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. I also have a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now what I'm going to do first is take all my dry ingredients. I'm going to place them into my bag, my shaking bag. You could put it in a shaking container if you wanted to. I'm using the bag. So in go my breadcrumbs. I'll get them all in there. There we go. My paprika. My salt and sugar. And my garlic powder and onion powder. I'm going to shut this, give it a good shake, make sure everything's incorporated. This should be enough for 4 chops. We shall see. I've never even tried this recipe. I'm winging it like I always do. The king of wing. Alright. There we go. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little salt and pepper mix here and season my pork chops. Yes, there's some seasoning in the breading, but I also want to season the meat as well. So just a little bit, not too much. Look at both sides. I've brought these pork chops to room temperature, thus they won't take as long to cook. If they were cold, you'd probably have to add a minute or 2. Alright, there's a little bit more here, a little bit more there. They are seasoned. Now let's get to the breading. So I have 2 eggs that I've mixed up here. I'm going to go ahead and put my pork chops into, and then I'm going to go ahead and coat them with the breadcrumbs. So, let me get my bag open here. Pork chops in the egg mixture, or the egg wash. Sorry. Into my bag. And a little toss. That looks good. Maybe with the magic of YouTube, I can go ahead and zip right through these. Alrighty, so the next step here is to get our chops onto my air frying pan here. And what I'm going to do is give it a light coating of olive oil spray. Get these in here. Give them a little coating of oil. Now, before I move on, I also want to mention that if I have any breadcrumbs left, or you have any breadcrumbs left, you need to throw them out. You've had meat in them. You don't want to cross-contaminate. There's not much left anyways, but don't save them. Just throw them away. Alrighty, time to put this in my air fryer. Now, I'm not really going to go over the specifics of my air fryer because everybody's ovens are different. And if you want me to do a video on my oven, then go ahead and send me a message and maybe I'll consider it. So this air fryer does not need to be preheated, so I'm going to go ahead and set it for 380 degrees and about 11 to 12 minutes. So I'll get this in and we'll get back. The air fryer said it's done. Let's go check it out. Okay, so they look good, but they're not quite crispy. So let me temp them. We're looking at 145 now. The rules changed on pork. It used to be 170, I believe. The food code now says pork only needs to be cooked at 145 degrees. We're at 126. 126 there as well. So these get a few more minutes. And this is a good test for me. It's cooking. It seems to be cooking a little bit different than our other air fryer. So, hey, we're going to give it a review. So back in the oven, I'm going to probably give it another 5 minutes in the air fryer and see if we can crisp it up a bit more and get it up to temp. Alrighty, we're back. Actually had to add an additional 2 minutes and we'll see where we're at now. Give this a temp. 145. 143, but that's going to come up a couple of degrees sitting. Same with that one. And 145. So 2 of these are right at 145. These are at 143. They're going to continue to cook a little bit longer. So they're done. Now let me get these out onto my cutting board here. And they did crisp up. So I'm kind of pleased with that. At first there I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not getting the crispiness I was looking for. But yeah, they crisped up nice and really nice and crispy. Put these over here. Let them rest a little bit, get this out of the way, and then we'll get in there and we'll try this out. Okay, so now what did I learn? Well, after poking these a few times, the juice did come out a little bit, so they got a little bit soggy where the juice leaked out. So what I learned is I do need to increase the cooking time with that particular air fryer in my LG oven. So we're looking at a total time of about 18 minutes cooking time for a 1-inch pork chop breaded. So next time I won't be pricking it so much. Now let's see how it tastes. Let's see how it looks. Let me take this one here. Ho, 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 ho. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but oh baby, baby, if you could have that. Let's go ahead and try. I mean, this knife just cut through that chop like it was nothing. I can tell it's tender. I knew they were going to be tender because of all the marbling. Look at that. Whoa. Super tender. It's got that nice Italian seasoning on the breadcrumbs. This is awesome. You got to make it. If you got an air fryer in your oven or a smaller air fryer, these come out fantastic. You got to do this. Highly recommend it. And it was a pass. I thought it was going to be a fail for a second there, but it was a pass. This episode shout out goes to Ristorante Bella Etna, NAS Seganella, Sicily, who has now won the NAE Award 4 straight years. That's right. I think that's unprecedented. I don't know if anybody's ever won it 4 straight years. I'll have to look that up. Hey, shout out to you guys, all my buds over there. So proud of you. Keep cranking out that great chow. And so hey, let's close this up. If you enjoyed our video, please hit the like button, subscribe, most importantly share. And when you subscribe, hit that little bell down there for notifications. That way you'll get notified every time one of our videos comes out. And if you click over here on my logo, that's a little shortcut for subscribing. So hey, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time.